Hey everybody, it's Mary. I'm just going to jump in here real quick and show you a couple things I got from Arteza lately that I've been playing with for a while, or else I would have come in sooner because I wanted to see how good they actually were. So not so much of an art or card making process with supplies, but just really showing you some of the things that I wanted to try out and what my take was on them. So Arteza sent me this 24 set of gel pens. You can get them separately and not just in the 24 set, but I've put them in my little glass container here. I didn't think that I would care too much about gel pens, but I did want something because I'm writing all day long for work. And I wanted something with color because it gets boring when you're writing just in blue or black. So not all my 24 are in here, but I have to tell you, I'm really impressed with the vibrancy of these colors. So when I pick even up the orange one, you think you're not going to be able to really see it that much, but anyway, we'll get into that in a second. I'm blabbering on. I'm also going to talk to you about the Arteza 120 Inkonic pens. So I was looking for a pen that I could also write for work, something that more felt like a marker and less like a pen, like a gel pen. And so I got the Inkonic 120 set, and I swatched them out here just to kind of show you all of the markers. There's 3 trays of markers, so I guess we'll just start with that. Okay. So we have that set right here, and we have this blue set. There's nothing happening all day long outside until I started recording. You know how it is. Alright, and then we have, so the purple, blue, teal set here. I have to fix my little straps. And then lastly, the greens and neutrals. Alright, so lots and lots of colors. I think this is a fantastic set of pens. Now, I was very curious about this because I have the TwiMarkers, and they have supposedly the same thickness of the ink. So it's a 0.4. And I was curious because I don't really like the way that the TwiMarkers write on the very thin side. They seem a little scratchy. So I wanted something a little bit smoother, and to my surprise, I was pleased with the way that they write in comparison to the TwiMarkers. So I'll show you that one as well. So as you can see on here on the front, you can use these markers. They're Fineliners, so they're really great. They're water-based. It's a water-based ink. You can use them with alcohol markers, which I think is great. So we see them swatched out. This is them swatched out. I felt like the ones with more pigment on them, so the darker colors, I felt like they wrote a lot smoother. Also, these are great colors, but not for writing, obviously, unless you're maybe writing on black. I don't know if that would even show up. Let me go with the lightest color here that I saw. Yeah, it doesn't show up. So it's not like they're like opaque acrylic markers or anything like that. So it's really going to be good for when you're coloring and you're doing a little bit of that blending. So okay, let's talk about coloring. They are water-based markers, so let's see what they can do as far as coloring goes. I have this coloring book from Arteza, and I'm going to just pull out, I've been having some fun here. This is from my glitter gel pens that I have. This I colored with, so they're not going to be alcohol based, which means they're not going to blend that well. So I find if I'm going to color with them, that coloring something like this with the very thin lines is my best bet. Because when they're very, very thin markers, so even trying to get a lot of that color across your image is going to be streaky. But if you have very thin lines for your images, it'll be fine. Like I said previous, I felt like the darker the marker, the smoother it was that it was writing. I'm going to compare some TwiMarkers in similar colors, because sometimes you're wondering, like, why do I need all these different kinds of markers? Well, my answer is always going to be you don't need them. But if you're looking for something that's in that ballpark, maybe this video can be helpful for you. That's where I stand. Alright, so A, 160. Very smooth. Also could be the paper, but it's very smooth to write with. This one is a A304, and it's very scratchy. It's not nearly as smooth. It looks as smooth, but it does not feel as smooth as this one. So I don't know how they're the same size. Oh, okay, so here's a difference. Okay, so you can see that right there. We have the one on the right is more pointed. The one on the left is more flattened on the outside of it. That could definitely have something to do with it for that purpose. So I'm not 100% thrilled about this side of the TwiMarker. That's not the cap at all. All right, so on the other side of the TwiMarker, these are going to be fun if you know how to brush letter, but that's the thickness of that kind. And again, these are water-based. That's not the... I'm going to quit soon. That's not the cap for that either. So these on Bristol Smooth, these will actually, you can get them to blend out the TwiMarkers. This isn't a review on the TwiMarkers. You want to see that? I have another video. I just wanted to compare the thinner tip to these. So yeah, okay, that's how I feel about that. So as far as coloring goes, I want you to look at this tin here real quick. I have never colored this way. It's basically just lines of coloring. So I'm very intrigued by this, because if I were to look at this from afar, I'm like, oh, this is really good coloring. If you look at it up close, it's really just drawing a bunch of lines together. There's not much solid coloring in this image, which is very outside of the norm for what I would do. So I'm not convinced I'm the best person to tell you whether these are good for that. I can say that I love the way they write. I like the smoothness of them. I think they're going to be awesome for my journaling and for my note-taking. But beyond that, I mean, I think, yeah, it looks really cool, and I could definitely see how you can get this look from here. But anyway, this is the Inkonic 120 pens. But if you draw and you want a thin line to draw, I will show you how you can use them with alcohol-based markers. So here's an Arteza marker. This is the 935, and I'm just going to show you that they don't bleed with alcohol markers. So they don't bleed at all. Okay. So I think that's great. You can couple them. So you could maybe outline draw with your Inkonic, and then you can take your Arteza, Everblends, and you can color right in. So I think that's cool. Same with the TwiMarkers. They're water-based. What will mix with this is if you use them with water. So let's try that. I can take my water brush, and I'm going to start here, and you see how I could move this? Because they're water-based. And I'm using the right paper. Now they still leave a little bit of lines behind on that one, but for the TwiMarkers, you could blend those out really well. So if I was to draw with these and then want to watercolor them, I could maybe get a no-line watercolor look because it would just blend into it. So that's an option. But if I didn't want them to bleed, these would not be a good choice to watercolor with. Coming back to the gel pens. So in this 24 set, in the 20, you have 23 unique colors, retractable. Why are they saying 23 and then 24? Is that a typo? Maybe they give me 2 of one color? 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Perplexing. Oh, 2 black. Dirt. So you have 10 vintage gel pens and 14 bright gel pens. All right, love them. So what we're going to do is I am going to show you the vibrancy of the colors, because I will tell you. So this is my planner, and it's also my notebook. For work. I can't really show you what's on my notebook for work, but not that there's anything top secret in here. It's just I didn't go through every line to see if it's something I can put out there. So we're just going to go with blur it out. But you can see how much I write in this thing. So it's really imperative that I have something that's fun to write with. I said fun. Yeah, I need something clear, but I need something fun too. And I like to color code each new day with a new checklist of things to do because it just makes my heart happy. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm really, really enjoying. No one should be this excited about gel pens, but I am very excited about these gel pens. I'm going to switch to voiceover real quick just to speed this up a little bit and show you what they look like when they're color swatched. I was actually impressed with the yellow. You can see it a lot better than most yellow markers or yellow pens that I've seen. I don't think I'll be writing notes with it unless I want to give myself an exercise in stressing out my eyes. So I'm probably not going to write notes with yellow, but all the other colors were brilliant. The ones on the bottom are actually not called neutral, they're called vintage. And so I started writing neutral at first, but they're the vintage set. And they're more of an earthy tone of pen. And then, of course, the ones on the top are going to be the brighter color of pen. So, yeah, I mean, I'm really, really happy with these gel pens. I find that, like I said previous, it just makes my process a lot more fun. And they come with this little tip, this little wax tip on the end of all of them. So you just have to remove that when you want to use them. Now, I do not show you all 24 of these pens. Why? Because my children undoubtedly came down and quote unquote borrowed them. I have one of the culprits right now down here with me. Did you or did you not borrow Mommy's gel pens?
Nope.
You did not?
Nope.
Do you know which pens I'm talking about?
Nope.
Well then, how do you know if you took them?
Because I didn't take any pens from you.
This line of questioning will continue later. Okay, he looks kind of innocent, so maybe he didn't do it. So hopefully that was helpful for anybody that wanted to see the Inkonic and or the gel pens. But let me know if you have any questions in the comment section, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.